Okay, let's have a look at the pole and line tuna fishing operation. Over time, pole and line fishing operation also has changed, and it's changed with the improvement in the vessels itself. If we look at what we are targeting today, we target skipjack, we target yellowfin, big eye, kawakawa, and frigate tuna. These are the common tuna species that we target. Of course, after a live bait fishing operation, the fishermen today usually will head out to fish aggregating devices. There are about 50 fish aggregating devices deployed outside the atolls, about 12 to 18 miles from the coast. So these are what we call anchored feds, permanently sitting there, and these attract tuna. So today, instead of heading out to the open ocean looking for tuna, first thing they will head out to the feds. Most of the boats will head out to the feds, and then if there is no fish around the feds, usually they head out into the open ocean. They look for oceanic sharks, because associated with oceanic sharks you find schools of tuna. And there are known seamounts in the Maldives, underwater seamounts, where you find tuna aggregations. And they also look for tuna jumping in and out of the water, and this causes disturbances near the surface, and this also attracts fishing boats to the tuna schools. And sometimes they also look for birds associated with tuna schools. They follow the birds. Now we have seen birds following the fishermen, because from the fishing vessel they know like small amounts of bait will be coming out as the circulation continues, so they pick on those. And they also look for drifting objects. That's attracting schools of tuna. Once a school is located, what they do is they use the bait to attract the fish to the boat. So you find chummers, bait chummers, taking bait from the bait hold. This is the bait hold. What they have done is they have put a lift net into the water and brought some bait to the surface so that they can easily scoop it out and throw it into the water to attract the tuna. In the past, when the boats were small, we didn't need this scoop with a long stick. This is the scoop they used in the past. Because the boats were smaller, they can easily scoop the bait out of it. On many boats, you will find there is this netting to protect the bait chummers. Because when the angling takes place, when they are catching the fish will be flying onto the boat. So sometimes it might come and hit the bait chummers. When the boats were small, you find only one bait chummer throwing bait from both sides. But now, when the boats have become wider, 25 feet wide or 30 feet wide, the same bait chummer can't throw bait from both sides. So you find in most of the boats today, you have two bait chummers. So this is what the setup looks like on a pole and line boat. The people who are operating the pole and line gear here at the back, and you find the bait chummers staying further away from them to make sure they are not hit by a fish. They keep throwing the bait into the water to attract the tuna to the boat. And sometimes what they do is they squeeze the bait to make them weak. So the bait does not start running away from the boat. So this actually attracts the tuna to the boat. When they have mastered the technique, you'll find as soon as the fish leaves the water, they unhook the fish. They use barbless hooks, and you know when the tuna is swimming in the water, they keep opening and closing the mouth to breathe. They need a circulation of water. And when they bite the hook, the fishing line is at tension, so the fish is just hanging from the hook. So when the fisherman releases tension on the line, as soon as the fish opens the mouth, it gets unhooked. So as soon as the fish leaves the water, it is already flying towards the deck of the boat. The hook is already out of their mouth, and the hook goes back into the water. So it happens very fast when they have mastered the technique. So here you see the same fish, it's just leaving the water. Already the hook is out of its mouth, and the fish is now flying on its own to the deck of the boat. So the fisherman hook is again going back into the water. So depending on how fast they are biting and how further away from the boat the tuna tend to stay, they use 3 different sizes of poles. That is what we call the long pole, the medium, and the short pole. If they are using the short pole, it is less effort, and they can quickly catch large quantities of bait. And in a one-day fishing operation in the Maldives, they have caught more than 50 tons of fish just by pole and line. These are the hooks they use. They make it on the local islands. And of course, they don't have barbs so that it can be unhooked very easily. Lures are in place to attract the fish. As they are dragged on the surface, the shine on the stainless steel hooks also attract the fish. Of course, when fishing is happening, you also see them spraying water. So they continuously spray water to shield the hook, and also when the small drops of water are landing on the surface, the tuna think there are more small fish jumping around, so they get attracted. So in today's modern boats, you find about 10 to 12 people, sometimes 15 people angling, catching tuna simultaneously. And this can be sometimes quite dangerous if they have not mastered the technique, because sometimes the hook can get into people's hand or other body parts, injuring them. So when they are fishing at the back of the boat, usually they are very serious, and today we find some of them take proper precautions as well, like wearing helmets, wearing shields to cover their eyes. So this is what a modern tuna fishing boat looks like. They have the capacity to take a lot of supplies with them. They can store full food and also fresh water and ice. So they can stay out for a week or 2 weeks sometimes without returning to a port. So on some of these big boats, you find about 25 to 30 people living on the boat. And of course, most of the time they don't return to the port unless they have run out of supplies or they have enough fish to sell to the companies who are buying the fish. Okay, let's have a look at how pole and line fishing takes place. Yes? So the boat is now designed to actually allow the fish to slide on the deck of the boat and fall into the hold. So these types of big boats you see operating down south, where the fishing is really good. Actually, the fisherman will not stand here. This is probably the cook who is fishing, because there's so much fishing happening, he also wants to join. Okay, after the fish are caught, in the past, the practice is they put the fish in the main hold. So all the fish are kept in the main hold. The boat is rolling and the fish are moving inside the main hold. The external gets damaged and the spoilage process starts occurring at a faster rate. That's past. And then even in the past, the other practice they had was they will remove the fish out of the hold, keep it on deck, cover it with something like the bait net to prevent direct sunlight reaching them. And you will notice, if you observe, the belly side of the fish is kept up. So this is where you find most of the guts and the enzymes and the bacteria that's promoting the spoilage process. So belly flap is usually very thin. So the fishermen know if the belly has holes due to spoilage, the fish will no longer be attractive to the buyer. So what they do is they keep the fish turned belly side up so that the enzymes and the bacteria does not actually fall onto the belly and starts self-digestion. So the fish will look nice from outside. So this was the practice in the past, but today you will find the fishermen, as soon as the fishing operation is over, they put the fish into ice. In some boats where they don't have ice holds or insulated holds, they put the fish inside these white boxes. If you go near the fish market, you will find there are a lot of boats with these white boxes because they don't have insulated holds. So they put the fish in ice inside the hold in today's boats or inside these boxes. So when the buyers or the companies are buying fish from them, first thing they will do is they will check the temperature of the fish. And then they will look at the quality of the fish before buying them. And of course, they pay a better price for fish that is kept in ice.